Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining another episode of Anchors Away. I'm Norma Holland, along with Robert Burns, former TV news anchors who now have fun with the news instead of reporting it. Subscribe for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. And, reach out to us. Let us know what you think. Give us some ideas, some thoughts. Share with us what you're thinking, what's going on in your life. Big deal this week. Everywhere I looked, everybody was like, oh, I finally went to the gym. And I know, Robert, this is your life, man. You love a gym.
And I feel horrible right about now. After 2 days of going back to the gym, I am a weakling popping out of a pistachio shell at this point. I feel like when Popeye and his arm goes weak and it goes under instead of a bicep, that's what I felt like going back for 2 days now. It's good to go back, but I feel horrible about myself knowing it's been 5 months getting back into the groove of things. I messaged a friend of mine who helped put a workout plan together for me a while ago, back when I was still doing this every day and the world was normal. And I messaged him and I said, I've gone back to the gym. And he's like, good, let me know how it goes. And so I sent him another text message today, and I sent him a snapshot of the program he made for me. And I said, are you trying to kill me with this? Because this is day 2. And he replied, you should know better than to do that. You should probably cut it back a little bit.
On day one.
On day one, yeah. But me, I go right back into it like it's like nothing has happened. And I'm lucky I haven't hurt myself. I haven't done anything. It's a weird dynamic, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is it like inside? It's like 30% capacity, right?
It is, and I go to no sponsorship here, but I go to LA Fitness, and so the ones that we have nearby, I even had to call them because I think I was reading on some articles that you had to make appointments, and there were a lot of ups in the air of what the process was. And so they said, no, we're a very large facility. We're not going to meet. Right now, we're not meeting that 30%. Just come on in. No time limit. Do what you have to do. But, yeah, you have to wear a mask the whole time you're in there, which makes it more difficult. And I can easily see that as another excuse for people to not go, to say, oh, I got to wear a mask. It's way too hot. It gets in my way. Yes, it does.
What was it like? Yeah, I mean, what was it like to wear it? I mean, did you feel like...
I felt so much sweatier than before because I'm breathing my own hot air back into my face, and so I'm on the stairs and I know what's happening, and I finally, I'm never one person to put that fan on the Stairmaster. I finally gave in and I turned the fan on because it was a little too warm for me. But when you're down there and you're doing weighted exercises, it's fine. It's normal. You have a mask on, it's fine. For most of us, we're not used to wearing the masks and having that hot air coming out of us going back into our face.
Does it matter the kind of mask that you wear? Like, are some better than others, right?
It does. I don't know if some are better than others, but they have a strict policy. No bandanas. Those don't count.
Okay.
You can't wear the turtleneck-looking things where people just pull them over their face.
Yeah.
Yes, you can't wear those. You have to wear an actual mask that goes over your ears or behind your head or something like that. So they have some restrictions towards what kind of masks they want to see you wear. They give you a bottle of, I want to say it's some sort of antibacterial spray to use to wipe down. So everybody who goes in, you get a bottle, or they're easy to find. You go grab a paper towel and you wipe down your stuff, which you should be doing anyway, unless you're a nasty person.
I was going to say, like, isn't that what you were supposed to do anyway? Like, people would make a big show of it. Like, I remember when I did go to the gym, like, you would have to spray everything down, right? Like, that was like a courtesy, it's like a thing of courtesy. It's nice.
It's etiquette. It's the gym etiquette. Like, don't hit on, whoever is there. Just go there to work out, but also wipe down your nastiness you leave behind.
Nasty.
It is very nasty. So it's a different dynamic. It's very empty. It's.
I was gonna say, is there anybody there?
I mean, the diehards, the people who are really excited about it. Some of the. I want to say some of the older population who would normally go at like 5 o'clock in the morning are still there. They want to go and work on some of that, but it's nowhere near as much of the novice gym goer that you would normally see there. And I'm wondering if gyms eventually start to bring back those like the New Year sales, come on in. Eventually they're going to have to do that to try and get people engaged a little bit more. Granted, it's only been open a week, but I think they want to see more people there.
That's interesting. Well, I mean, there's a lot of people who are like, look, I needed to go. I had to go back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the sales of Peloton bikes went through the roof, and doing workouts from home, and just people running and jogging
Mm-hmm.
everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But come this winter, what's going to happen, right? Are people going to start either going back to the gym, or are they going to start buying treadmills again, or just something to stay active as long as the weather allows, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of people got into a new routine.
Yeah.
And they're going to keep, for no pun intended, like you mentioned, a bike and ellipticals, and they're going to ride that out until they just can't do it anymore.
Well,
There's a lot of people like me. I can't do the home. Like, I've tried. I bought the resistance bands. I bought, everything you need. I can't get in. I have to go somewhere and get in the mood to do it.
I thought to myself, what if COVID hit like in the fall, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if it wasn't springtime? What if we weren't going into spring? What would America be like? Would we be even more stir crazy, right? And think about it, as we go into the fall, right? I mean, we're still in this, so to speak. So like, what's going to happen? Are we going to go, crazy because we can't be outside? So I kind of think about that, and I wonder, gyms are going to be places where people find their sanity, not just,
I am still waiting on, because you know how much of a buff I am still waiting on the movie theater to come back open. I don't care what it costs. I will pay just to go see something. And I heard a rumor that I believe some movie theaters, AMC, Regal, they were going to, when they start to slowly reopen, play a lot of the classic movies. Re-air Ghostbusters, perhaps. Maybe Jaws on the big screen.
Ooh.
I would be 100% down. I will spend $50 at that damn snack register to go watch Jaws one more time, or the Goonies. Yeah, just like we saw on the drive-in. I will pay all the money for that. The old movies are great. I will go see them. All right, we do want to thank our sponsor for this show, Anchor. It's the easiest way for us to bring you the podcast. They give us everything we need. It's all in one place. And most importantly, it's all free. Everything on our iPhones, on our iPads, on our computers, all the creation tools to edit, it's all included, and they distribute the show for us. Send it to Spotify, send it to Apple, send it to Google. So you can start your own podcast, get in on the game, download the Anchor app, or go to anchor.fm to get started.
I want to confess something to our listeners, okay? Once I was a little embarrassed to admit this, but I went public with my obsession.
Well, this is going to be good, because I don't know it.
I've gone public with my obsession over Little House on the Prairie. Shortly after COVID began, I saw that Netflix was airing all the episodes, okay? I grew up watching some of the episodes. By the time I caught on to the show, they were already 10, 12, almost 15 years old, okay? But there was something about this show that I loved because I was around the same age as Laura Ingalls, okay? And so 8, 9, 10, and I loved the show as a kid. So I was like, this is nostalgia. Okay, I want to go back to a simpler time because the world is literally falling apart around me and the world is burning. Literally, I just want to like escape. It was an escapism thing. I don't know, whatever. So I started watching the show and I got obsessed. I had to know, I had to watch every episode. My husband, the girls, everyone was watching it. And I started going on Twitter and I was live tweeting the episodes. I'm like
they were brand new. Is that what you were doing on Twitter? Like it was a premiere?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, today, he put his wheat crop in the ground. What will happen? Will the upcoming rainstorm wash out his crop? And I was obsessed. Today, Laura smacked Nellie, and boy, I thought she deserved it. And people were actually chiming in, going, I remember that episode. This is so weird, but I so love this, that you're doing this, And it was like, yeah, I know it's weird. You're baking bread. I don't know. It's 2020,
all you need is a big wheat field or field of grass to go just run through. Just don't trip on a rock. And
my little bonnet, I just
relive it.
Yeah, it's weird. I know I'm strange, but I need something. Ah.
Oh, look at that wagon. Look at that wagon. That's good. Starring Michael Landon.
Oh, Michael Landon. He was so handsome, though. Ladies.
Oh, there's the kids running down the hill.
Carrie falls down.
Yeah. Melissa Gilbert.
Yup.
Melissa Sue Anderson.
Two Melissas. They hated each other.
And wait, oh, down she goes.
Carrie.
Face plant. Wait for her to get up to put Lindsay Sidney Greenbush. All right.
So, shortly before I left television, I interviewed Alison Arngrim, I think that's her name, who played Nellie. And she has a book called Confession of a Prairie Bitch, and it's hilarious. But she was talking about, like, you know, that everyone actually really got along. She and Half Pint and, you know, the girl who played Laura, the character actually really got along really well.
Well, that's good.
That's
That's good.
It was just neat.
It's always good to know, like, the shows that you watched as a kid or as you are starting to watch now, when you interview or hear from the actors, like, we actually all did get along. We didn't all hate each other or the drama like there is today. You're like, you know what? Good.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping.
By the way, Michael Landon knew he was a very handsome man and actually had it written into episodes that he would be shown without his shirt on.
Oh.
He was a very
He took advantage of it, didn't he?
He did. He was a very well-built man, and he was very vain about his hair. He had that gorgeous,
It was good hair.
Beautiful hair. I mean, gorgeous hair. But then, you know, he would make sure that, like, there was episodes where he would just be wearing his suspenders and his pants, you know, and then that's it. And, you know.
I mean, they were out on the prairie. It was hot. There's no air conditioning. It was hot. There's no fans. You know, you got that hat and you're blowing your own hot air back into your own face.
No, shoot.
It's essentially.
Jim, Planet Fitness, what?
I kind of feel like I'm at the prairie now. We're reliving it, as you mentioned.
That's a look you need. You need to put on your suspenders and your
pants. That's not a look anyone needs right now.
We're going in the wrong direction.
I don't know if there's a good direction to go because the next story involves this. You just got to make that stank face the whole time. It's just and if you can hear me and imagine my face, it's probably exactly what you imagine my face to look like. That was the jam. I mean, what he's trying to do is not make you say he's trying to make you say yum.
Yum,
na. Because we went through a lot these past couple of months. And there's a lot of social change. A lot of it is very good. Some of it I don't really get. And when they replaced Aunt Jemima, I didn't get it. But it didn't hit to me like it does to some people. So I understand it. Well, Master P, I think, is trying to play off it a little bit. Because if you haven't read this article, it's from CNN Business, so this is real. Master P, the man himself, has launched a food product line called, not Aunt Jemima, since that's no more, his food line is called Uncle P. And it's got a picture of his big old face on it with his sunglasses. It's Uncle P's Louisiana seasoned white rice.
Oh my gosh.
And the slogan on the box is, there's no limit to success, because he is a no-limit soldier.
Oh my Lord.
Yes.
Okay, so Uncle P stands for profit. Okay.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. And he's talking about, look, more job opportunities. You know, he's speaking the language, right? It's not just about me. It's about giving other people jobs. He wants to develop real estate in black neighborhoods. And, you know, I got to admire somebody who can, you know, take their influence and try to help other people, right? I mean...
Absolutely. I mean, and he even mentioned in some interviews, he had always assumed that brands like Aunt Jemima, like Uncle Ben's, which are now gone, he thought they were all black-owned, and they're not.
Right.
You know, they're owned by bigger corporations. And so he just thought, okay, well, instead of, you know, playing into some stereotypes, let's do this. Let's give people some food that we like to eat. You know, Uncle P, I mean, Master P, rather. I called him Uncle P. Master P, rather.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's stuff he eats. And I mean, I like white rice. I would get it. I would try his Louisiana seasoned white rice. Absolutely. I'd give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many brands out there. Think about it. In this day and age, you can like if you decided you wanted to buy a particular kind of food, you're going to find a small purveyor of that brand. Like when
Mm-hmm.
people went crazy when Goya, when like the head of Goya said that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
he supported the president. People were like, you know what? Forget it. Ain't buying Goya no more. Adobo, which is like a staple in every Latino's kitchen. What they were like, I'm going to find a whole new brand of
Yeah, that lasted
oil.
like an hour and a half.
I'm telling you, right? But there was a lot of people that went at it hardcore. They were like, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? No, I'm gonna go find the local, the small, mom and pop maker of whatever brand. So I mean, you could,
Mm-hmm.
you could buy whatever you want nowadays. The internet is your friend in that way.
Well, and here's the other thing: is if I went down an aisle and I was looking for Uncle Ben's rice, and I didn't see Uncle Ben's rice anymore, I'm looking for something I know, right? I'm gonna look for a brand that I've heard of. I'm not buying Jimmy's rice.
Hmm.
I'm just making up rice. I'm not buying Jimmy's rice, but I see Master P on a box. I'll give it a shot.
Uncle P,
I'll see. I'll give Uncle P a shot. Let's see how he seasons this rice. It's white rice. How
give
can you
Uncle
really
P,
mess it
yeah.
up?
I mean, how bad could you make it? White rice.
It's white rice. How can you mess it up?
Well, you can, and as a Puerto Rican, I will tell you, you can ruin a pot of white rice. Okay?
Isn't it
So,
usually yellow rice though?
mm,
Uh,
well,
eh,
no,
eh.
we never made yellow rice.
Oh,
Yellow rice.
my
Eso
family
no
makes yellow rice all the time.
Mira, we didn't make no
Ay
yellow
Dios.
rice, okay?
Ay Dios. She gives me the
ay
mira.
Dios. We don't. If you want to make yellow rice, you use sazon or some kind of seasoning. My mother never made that. We always had white rice.
Oh.
It was, well, I can't even say it in English. It's pollo guisado con arroz blanco. We don't have arroz amarillo, lo que sea. Yo no sé eso. Eso no sé. Eso no se cocina en mi casa, ¿ok? Cocinamos arroz blanco de Goya.
Hmm.
Dios mío.
So
My mother
that,
would sometimes buy like a whole other brand of like white rice or whatever. Like if it wasn't Goya, it was like some other like
Come
off
again?
brand.
You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please. Huh? You pooped in the refrigerator.
essentially, that is my reaction to everything you just said now. And because while I do have Puerto Rican in me, I don't understand what the hell you were saying.
You know I don't speak Spanish.
Baxter? You know
Baxter?
You speak Spanish.
The madman punted Baxter.
No, you will put that capo in your mouth. Tino, I'm not putting this capo in my mouth.
But I would back to the point of the story.
Yeah, so Mr. P, Uncle P, I'm gonna give it up for him. All right, if I see it, I'm gonna try it.
I'll give it a shot. I'm trying to do a quick search as we're on here. It doesn't look like it's on shelves or available yet because I was trying to see how much it would cost.
Remember when Patti LaBelle had Patty's Pies?
I do not,
Oh,
but you got real excited about this.
Let me tell you, these sweet potato pies, Patty sold them at Walmart. Coworker of mine brought them in. Oh, there's a guy who did a video on YouTube where he goes crazy. He tries the pie and he goes, Patty! Oh, Patty! Well, they were like $12 maybe, $10, $12, and my coworker brought it into the newsroom, and it was so good.
Was it?
All right, Patty's Pie.
Oh, here they are online. Here you go, Patti LaBelle's sweet potato pies.
P, Aunt Patty.
Yeah, look at that. She's got a book. But yeah, these pies. Well, right now they go for $9.
Yeah, they were excellent.
But yeah, I don't mind some sweet potato pies. It's almost that time of year, and you and I were actually. It's almost that time of year for all the pumpkin stuffs, and Starbucks is selling it and everything like that. And sweet potato pie goes right into that. But you and I were talking earlier. Before we get to the holidays, I have to get adjusted to the time change outside because it is. We usually record these later on at night or in the week, as most people who listen know, and it had taken its time to get to a normal shift in daylight to nightlight, and twilight rather. And so for me now, it's dark at 8 o'clock, and I love it. This feels right. When it's still sunny at 9:15, it throws me all kinds of off. And I can't adjust. 36 years now, I still can't adjust to it.
Yeah, when I see the sun, I just can't go to sleep. I mean, and I had that problem even when I was working the morning shift. So I would literally make my room as dark as possible. But like in my head, I'm like, I can still see, or I know that it's light out. I can't go to sleep. I just
No.
can't. It's not happening. Take melatonin, it ain't working.
No, because you can still see a crease of lights anywhere, and that's how it's going to keep you awake.
When do we fall? What is it? Fall back, right? So
spring
like
forward, fall backward. It usually is in September.
Yeah, like this. It's in September, so it would be. September
It is
1st?
actually it's November 1st.
What?
Daylight savings time 2020 began at 2 a.m. on Sunday, March 8th, and ends at 2 a.m. on Sunday, November 1. So we got a ways to go, honey.
Well, the problem is when it gets to be like 4 o'clock and it's dark. That's when you lose me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a little bit much.
That.
That's a little bit much. How are the kids? Before we end the show, as you can tell, this has been a show with not a whole lot of planning behind it, but a little bit of planning behind it. And
you liked it.
No, this is fun. It's good. We took a week off. I had some family concerns to kind of deal with, and we want to make sure we get something out there, both for our listeners and for us. It's a little bit of therapy for us to kind of get through as well.
Yes.
You are our resident mom, though. So how are the kids doing with back to school? We've got about 5 minutes left. So how are they handling it?
They're doing all right. So my preschooler is, she's going to go back to preschool 5 days a week. Her school is going to be open, and fingers crossed it stays that way, right? The principal held a meeting with all the parents, basically outlining the mask policy. Kids are going to have to wear them. They will have time during the day when they can take the masks off. They will be giving kids lanyards so that the masks don't fall to the floor when they take them off, right?
I'm laughing because my mom just got a couple of those, and I said those look like old lady glasses holders. 100% they do. Yes.
Kids are going to bedazzle them, but totally. I'm excited for her. I know she's excited to see her new teacher. And it's going to be weird. My smaller child, she goes to a daycare that is currently open and has been open since May. And again, I'm going through this this time of year with a little nervousness, right? What is the fall going to bring?
Sure.
Will we have to? And the school has said, if we need to close the school again, we will, and we'll go back to distance learning. And I was reading something the other day. They were like, listen, if a friend of yours tells you that their kids are going back 5 days a week, look at them, and your reaction ought to be, good for you. Or if you talk to your friend and the friend says, we're homeschooling the kids, you say, good for you. I mean, this is not a judgment call right here, parents.
No.
Okay? Don't feel like you're going to face judgment. Honestly, everyone's doing the best that they can. We ought to give each other credit for that.
And none of us, I'm not one of them, but nobody here signed up to be a math teacher or a tutor or I'll help you with your homework. But really at this point in my life, I'm learning it, relearning it right along with you, long division and all this fun stuff. So a lot of us weren't expecting this. Nobody was expecting this. But you and I were talking earlier. It's a faint memory to when someone would say I'm home. My kids are homeschooled, or a kid would say I'm homeschooled, and you raised an eyebrow. You didn't want to say anything. You don't want to make anybody feel bad. But we're not talking like Sloth from the Goonies. But you're still like, what? So what's the problem? What was wrong? Where's the concern here? Now,
still very much fringe.
Yeah. Now it's fine. Everybody's doing it, and the kids probably have a sweeter setup than most of us do at home.
Let me tell you, some of these kids' setups are sweet. Okay, they've got special chairs, they've got special desks, they've got standing desks for kids.
Beats headphones, iPads.
Oh yeah, the headphones. Beats. Yeah, they got them for kids. I mean, these kids got the hookup. But the thing is, and I know there's a lot of people who are like, then there's kids sitting outside of Taco Bell trying to use their Wi-Fi because they're trying to get their homework done. So it's literally everyone from those kids with the souped up home offices set up to the kids sitting out. It's like everyone's just trying to get an education. And you can argue the playing field when it comes, and the playing field is not level, but that's a whole other show for a
whole another day. I will end it on this. I don't envy them for what they have to go through, although I do wish that they would know the pure joy and excitement and relief feeling of cracking your back on one of those school plastic chairs that had no give, and you would get the most satisfying. I think I grew 3 centimeters with each crack, and it was delightful.
Stop.
The kids will never know this joy. and just relish in the fact, parents, that you get to sit here and know this feeling. And they'll never get it. They'll never get it. They can have their iPads. They won't have the plastic chairs.
You won't got the plastic chairs.
Thanks for helping out and getting me through this week. Everyone, we will be back again next week. Appreciate you. Stay safe.